After the first battle of Geonosis and the beginning of the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker was very quickly promoted from Jedi Padawan to Jedi Knight, allowing him to lead the 501st Legion in the war. So why was Anakin promoted so quickly after Geonosis, and why was he allowed to become a Knight without passing the Jedi Trials? I'm going to break down exactly why Anakin became a Jedi Knight without passing the Trials and why the Jedi hated it. Before we dive deep into it, remember to hit that subscribe button below with notifications on to be notified as soon as I drop more awesome Star Wars content. At the moment, only 20% of you who are watching this video have hit the button, so if you do hit it, you will become a Jedi Knight without passing the Trials. Anakin's story with the Jedi Trials begins in the 2003 Clone Wars series, which is now Legends, but a lot of the information from the show is probably still true in canon. Not long after the first battle of Geonosis, the Jedi Council began to receive reports of a new Separatist general that went by the name Grievous. The Council was shocked to learn that this new Separatist, General Grievous, had fought 5 Jedi Knights at once and was able to defeat every single one of them. Because of this, Mundi made a plea to the Jedi Council for Grievous to be stopped. The Jedi Council agreed and began to debate how to increase the number of Jedi Knights in the galaxy. Mundi, Yoda, Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi were all extremely worried at how many Jedi Knights the Council had lost since the beginning of the war and hoped to increase their numbers significantly before the war started to intensify. For this reason, Obi-Wan stood up in front of the council and proposed that his apprentice Anakin Skywalker be promoted to the rank of Jedi Knight immediately, without having to pass the Jedi Trials. Kenobi suggested this because Anakin was both incredibly skilled in lightsaber combat and also the Chosen One. Unfortunately, however, some members of the council were outraged by the suggestion because it would destroy a sacred tradition of the Jedi Order and the strong history that tradition holds. Despite this, many members of the council believed that there was no other way for the Jedi Order to survive during the Clone Wars. Following this, the Jedi Council split in half, with members like Kenobi, Yoda, Mundi and Fisto supporting Anakin's promotion to Jedi Knight, while Mace Windu, Oppo, Rancisis and Gallia voiced their concern about throwing away the sacred tradition. Kenobi quickly interrupted the debate to defend Anakin, stating that he had already technically passed most of the Jedi Trials because he had already experienced many things much harder than the Trials. He had already passed the Trial of Skill when he defeated the Sith assassin Asajj Ventress on Yavin 4, and even received a scar from her on Coruscant. Kenobi argued that Anakin had already passed the Trial of Flesh when losing his arm in the lightsaber duel with Count Dooku on Geonosis. He had also passed the Trial of Courage multiple times on the battlefield, fighting side by side with Kenobi against the droid army. After a very heated debate about the issue, the council eventually agreed that Anakin had certainly passed these trials, but still had one major trial remaining. This trial was known as the Trial of Spirit and involved facing your inner soul to deal with any turmoil, anger or hatred left inside of you. Anakin had certainly not passed this trial yet, still being very reckless and hot-tempered in some situations, which angered some members of the council, once again sending them into a massive debate. Yoda then interrupted the debate and quickly put it to an end. He stated that Anakin would become a Jedi Knight despite not having passed the Jedi Trials because of his identity as the Chosen One. Only a few short days after this, Anakin is urgently called back to the Jedi Temple by Obi-Wan, where he will face the Council. When Anakin arrived, he was not happy with Kenobi and even told him that he could never compare to Master Qui-Gon. Anakin of course regretted this only moments later, but Kenobi forgave him and took him to the Jedi Temple ceremony room. Anakin entered the dark room and waited inside of the traditional circular Jedi markings on the floor. The Jedi Masters of the Council surrounded Anakin in the darkness. After pausing for a moment to reflect on the ceremony, each of the Masters ignite their lightsaber blades at the exact same time, illuminating the room with a bright glow. All of the Masters then lower their blades while Master Yoda knights Anakin and cuts off his Padawan braid with his green lightsaber. Anakin is now officially a Jedi Knight of the Republic. Awesomely, C-3PO delivers Anakin's Padawan braid to Padme after the ceremony, where she stores it alongside the necklace he made for her many years prior. Anakin did later go on to properly pass his Jedi Trial of the Spirit at the Battle of Nelvan, after he entered a cave on the planet and began to see visions of himself in the future as Darth Vader. Once he returned from the battle, Master Yoda did recognize his passing of the trial despite already being granted the rank of Knight. So that is exactly how Anakin became a Jedi Knight without passing the Jedi Trials. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.